The iPad Pro 12.9 is without a doubt the most competent iPad around. Wearing Mac's best-in-class M2 chipset close by smaller than usual drove innovation. That provides an OLED-like display that doesn't forfeit by and large brilliance, new Mac Pencil usefulness, and a completely better approach to utilize the tablet utilizing iPadOS 16-stage chief. But at the same time, it's the most costly tablet around, particularly in the UK where it costs £250 more than its ancestor at the Passage level, making it hard to prescribe contrasted with the similarly fit 2021 territory that you'll have the option to find at a rebate in late 2022. So, is the iPad Pro 12.9 the tablet for you? Well, design and build. Same design as its ancestor. Smooth, premium design. On the weighty side, the iPad Pro 12.9 is in a split second, conspicuous as an iPad Pro in light of the fact that its design is close indistinguishable from the past couple of ages of Mac's Pro tablet range. It's even accessible in a similar space dark or silver wraps up, without the more energetic variety choices of the iPad Air and 10th Gen iPad. This is a work gadget, and as indicated by Apple's design theory, that implies it should look professional. This shouldn't imply that the iPad Pro isn't a looker. It's a remarkable inverse. As a matter of fact, it's an especially rich gadget, with a huge 12.9 display and a smooth skeleton with rakish edges that give it a similar modern look as other ongoing iPhones and iPads. It feels strong in the hand. However, at 682 grams, it's not the most versatile tablet in Apple's reach. There is a more eminent bezel on the iPad Pro than iPhone clients may be utilized to. However, it's really welcome on tablets, providing you with a touch of room to hold it without enacting something on screen. It's already likewise thick to house the Face ID smarts, with practically no sort of indent for a perfect review inside. Face ID, everything being equal, is as fantastic as could be expected, with speedy opening without scrambling to track down the power Contact ID button as with other iPads. And it tends to be utilized to get to your covered up, and as of late erased photograph collections and Verify Macintosh Pay as well. The main peculiarity is the place of the selfie camera. It stays similarly situated on the top edge of the iPad Pro in vertical direction, while the new 10th Gen iPad flaunts a midway put camera on its right side. It's vastly improved when in even setup, particularly when matched with a console case, as it implies you're gazing straight into the camera and not ungracefully off to one side. Likewise with the iPad Pro. Taking into account the work-centered nature of the iPad Pro reach, it would have checked out to incorporate it here as well as the Passage level iPad. It's conceivable that the new camera position could obstruct the Mac Pencil charge point as the 10th Gen iPad strangely still backings the 1st Gen Pencil. However, we won't ever be aware without a doubt. Display and audio. Extraordinary display quality. Little Drove truly makes it stick out. Nice sound system speaker experience. The 12.9 and Super Retina XDR display of the iPad Pro is really remarkable. In any event, when contrasted with the 11 and iPad Pro, it's bounty splendid and sharp with a goal of 2732x2048 that makes all that from watching motion pictures on Disney Plus to doodling and Procreate an outright happiness. The varieties are accurate thanks to DCI-P3 support. All that feels smooth and responsive thanks to the 120Hz ProMotion tech, and the powerful reach is inconceivable notwithstanding donning a LCD display. That is down to the incorporation of little driven tech, selective to the 12.9 in model. For those ignorant, smaller than expected Drove utilizes a flimsy layer of minuscule LEDs behind the LCD board. These LEDs are assembled into 2,596 diminishing zones across the iPad's display with the capacity to turn their light down so low that dull tones look really dark, instead of the dimmish shade you get from standard LCD displays including the 11 and iPad Pro. It's basically pretty much as close as you'll get to the profound blacks of OLED without really utilizing OLED, while additionally flaunting better brilliance levels thought about than even top-of-the-line OLED televisions. Not to mention OLED telephones and tablets. The display brags 1,600 nits top splendor while watching HDR content, and 1,000 nits in HDR-empowered applications, at the point when you consider the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra tops out at around 600 nit. A genuinely noteworthy accomplishment provides an unparalleled survey insight on a tablet, particularly while watching Dolby Vision HDR content by means of Apple Television and Netflix. It drops down to around 600 nits while watching SDR content. Yet that is still a lot for regular use and ought to assist with expanding battery life, a region where the current year's iPad Pro necessities all the assist it with can and get, yet erring on that in a little. Display tech to the side. The huge components of the iPad Pro 12.9 mean it's appropriate not exclusively to part screen performing multiple tasks yet drawing, video altering and word processing, as well as watching YouTube recordings, web-based TikToks and playing the plenty of great games accessible on Macintosh Arcade. It truly offers the best display insight of any tablet at the present time, not simply iPads. Similarly as nice is the speaker arrangement, with speakers at both short finishes of the iPad that provide an uncommon sound system sound experience that truly inundates you into what you're watching or playing. It's bounty uproarious and of a sufficient quality to nonchalantly pay attention to music in the event that you've not got your earphones convenient. However, it obviously can't exactly deal with weighty bass. Accessories, support for Sorcery Console and 2nd Gen Apple Pencil. New float mode for Apple Pencil clients. Sorcery Console changes the tablet into a PC. As could be, the iPad Pro 12.9 is viable with the Enchanted Console. It basically transforms your iPad into a completely fledged PC, as well as the second-age Mac Pencil. The Mac Pencil snaps onto the side of the iPad, both keeping it remotely bested up and effectively accessible at whatever point required, and it performs similarly as well as could be expected. The pencil is accurate, with a 20 ms reaction rate that causes it to feel responsive being used, and it has respectable slant detecting and tension recognition as well. However, the last option can feel a little off-kilter given the hard plastic nib and the glass display. Performance and specs. Apple M2 chipset is the most remarkable around. Can deal with everything you can come up with. Needs more work area level applications to exploit the M2. One of the primary updates of this age of iPad Pro is the presentation of the M2 chipset, and to say that it's greatly strong may be putting it mildly. It's anything but a cut-down variant of the chip found in the M2 MacBook Air and M2 MacBook Pro either. It's the equivalent chipset, donning an 8-center central processor, split into 4 fast performance centers and 4 energy-effective centers, alongside a 10-center GPU fueling the graphical experience. That greatly strong chipset is matched with 8 GB of RAM on the 128, 256 and 512 GB models, with the 1 TB and 2 TB models helping the RAM up to an incredible 16 GB. For reference, I've been provided with a 1 TB model for survey. As you would anticipate from that mix, performance on the iPad Pro is just unequaled in the tablet space, and it'll leave a couple of workstations in the residue as well, with a Geekbench 5 multi-center score of 8429. Contrasted with the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra's 3396, it's an entirely unexpected association. Cameras and photography. Cameras truly stay unaltered. New ProRes video recording. Incredible for video calls. The camera arrangement remains to a great extent unaltered contrasted with the past age of iPad Pro, bar the capacity to keep in ProRes video interestingly. All things considered, you're taking a gander at a similar fundamental 12MP snapper close by a 10MP ultra-wide, and a LiDAR sensor for quick self-adjust and improved R divided by 3D examining capacity, with the last option seemingly being one of the principal utilizes for the camera on the tablet. Saying this doesn't imply that the camera quality isn't good. It's equipped for catching extraordinary quality pictures with strong brilliance, pleasant varieties, and decent measures of detail. However, it's difficult to envision anybody using a 12.9-inch tablet for any serious photography, particularly when ongoing iPhones have substantially more able cameras. The forward-looking 12-megapixel is apparently more helpful, ideal for use in video conferencing applications like Zoom and Microsoft Groups as well as a periodic FaceTime visit. The expansive camera consequently crops into your face utilizing Apple's middle stage tech, and it'll follow you as you move around the room, extraordinary for introductions and talks while you're making supper in the kitchen. Software. Stage Chief has potential. Most recent update fixes long-lasting grievances. iPadOS actually offers the best tablet experience. Stage Administrator is the vital new component in iPadOS 16, accessible on select models of iPad Pro and the M1-empowered iPad Air as well. It basically brings the iPad experience nearer to that of a Macintosh than any time in recent memory, with window-based applications that you can resize and move any place you like on the display. Probably first significant, you'll need to empower Stage Director by means of the Settings application to utilize it, and you can switch among it and the standard Apple performing various tasks experience at whatever point you like. Battery life and charging. As long as 10 hours. More remarkable power channel than other iPads. Moderately sluggish charging at 20 watt. The iPad, regardless of the size or shape, has consistently had a battery life of as long as 10 hours formally. However, most are fit for going past that imprint for however long you're not excessively intense with the applications and games you're utilizing. Nonetheless, interestingly, maybe Apple's 10-hour guarantee is generally consistent with life in view of my time drawing, word processing, and staring at the network programs utilizing Apple's most recent 12.9-inch tablet. Finally, thanks for watching this video. See you again next time.